Hi, welcome to Main Street Macro. I'm Neela Richardson, and I have a riddle for you. Jobs are still up, job openings are still strong, but what about the Great Resignation? Is it still great? Short answer, no. We look deep into ADP payroll data to see why the new hire sheen is fading, and there are three reasons why. Reason number one, new hires are less than 5% of the workforce. You see, new hires are the most sensitive of all the workers who are currently in the market. They're sensitive to real-time labor market conditions. These conditions determine the types of jobs they can get, the level of seniority, the location, and very importantly, the salary. So it's based on the hiring needs of millions of firms and the preferences of hundreds of thousands of workers. And when we look at a broad sample of workers, those who started new jobs in the last 3 months, what we find is that new hires are highly sensitive, but a relatively small share of the workforce. Even during the Great Resignation, the share of new hires barely peaked above 5%. This year it's at 4.3%, and that's only slightly lower than the 4.8% of new hires last year. Now, reason number two is that new hire pay growth has slowed to a near standstill. In 2022, a typical new hire could expect to see a 10% jump in pay compared to new hires in 2021. Now, year-over-year pay growth for new hires has shrunk to just 2.9% in September. And when we isolate new hires who are paid hourly, and that's like 60% of our sample, pay is going nowhere fast. Median hourly pay for new hires has remained at $17 an hour since February. Reason number three, white-collar jobs are seeing a slump in new hire pay growth. Now, white-collar jobs in like professional business services, finance, information technology, all of these jobs were pretty much insulated from the ravages of the pandemic. There was very little job loss in these industries at the height of COVID-19, and many of them could be done and still, frankly, are being done remotely without disruption. But we're seeing definitely a disruption in the very high pay growth that we saw last year in these industries. In finance, pay growth in September was just 0%, and it's been that way for 3 solid months. In information technology, we saw actually negative pay growth for most of this year. And when we get to professional business services, this is an industry with the highest share of new hires. It saw the lowest year-over-year pay growth at negative 1.4%. So what's next? The new hire pay growth stands in sharp contrast to all the other strong jobs data that we've seen over the last month. But firms and workers are providing real-time data on the state of the labor market based on their day-to-day hiring trends. And here's what they're telling us. They're telling us that overall, the economy is still growing, but with much less of a big bang in salary than we've seen before. Thanks for watching the Main Street Macro. For more information on the week ahead, please check out adpri.org.